Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a Pacific cold front that's going to be impacting the region with showers ending for tonight as that front passes through. That's what's been impacting us today. But very windy conditions now will be the next phase of this, with wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour or greater in some cases for the region. So it's going to be very windy. We've got the opportunity for some weekend storms too, so we'll be watching for that, along with breezy conditions persisting. Now, as we take a look at our overnight setup, notice the much more limited rain threats that we see ahead. We're going to go ahead and keep things for the majority of the night quiet, with no big opportunities for rain, down briefly into the upper 30s, but mainly waking up to those 40s and those high temperatures into the 60s by the afternoon. But by 5 o'clock, we'll be at around 59. What we will notice again are those winds increasing. We'll talk about that. But in terms of how these temperatures stack up with our averages, not too far out of the norm. Now, this is a lot more seasonable, 62 versus our average high of 64. The cold front that has impacted us will be well to the east by tomorrow. So here's Wyoming. You can see that front to the east now in the northern plains. But the next system that we're tracking as we take this forward one day into Friday is a Pacific storm system. And this is going to be driving in renewed rain for Washington and Oregon. And eventually that's going to be translating through the region here, instigating some more rounds of precipitation, a bit heavier for the weekend. But we still have quite unsettled weather as we have weaker disturbance lingering here. This will be triggering some rounds of showers, some high terrain snow, though limited accumulations. But we will continue to track that few 1/100ths of an inch in terms of the amount of precipitation that we'll be seeing for most locations. So again, a lot more limited, but the wind is the big story. We've got an occasional shower or storm for tonight, wrapping up as we look at the overnight scene, again drying out, but the winds will begin to pick up. So we will indeed start to track in much windier weather, 62 with very windy conditions in tomorrow's outlook. We've got an occasional shower or storm that could pop up. Here's the hourly breakdown, mainly occurring during the afternoon, seeing those temperatures rising into the 60s. But here's a look at the hourly wind gusts forecast. So from the west-northwest, wind gusts exceeding 40 miles per hour. Very windy conditions indeed, and those peak wind gusts will exceed 40 miles per hour for many of our communities. As we take a look at the peak wind gusts in the days to come, it still looks pretty breezy out there, even through the weekend and early next week. Not as windy as tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the windier day, but still hanging on to those breezier conditions. Here's a quick look at Friday. Peak wind gusts in the upper 20s, low 30s. In most cases. Here's the extended forecast. Again, rain chances remain pretty much on a daily basis through the early part of next week. Temperatures cooling by next week as well, with highs in the 50s.